Pesca recently opened its doors in Waikiki on the 30th floor of the Ilikai Hotel in the space that was formerly home to Sorrento's. There's a scenic ride up to the 30th floor with a view of the Alawai boat harbor. The restaurant is styled after the world-renowned Estiatorios Milos restaurants, featuring fresh fish sold by the pound. Interestingly enough, for an island surrounded by water, it's one of the few full-service seafood restaurants on Oahu. The restaurant is attached to a chapel overlooking the ocean where couples can take their vows and have a seafood reception afterward.
So here we are at Pesca, new Mediterranean style seafood restaurant, and it's really pricey. But I think that's part of a new COVID trend because there are a segment of the population who want to kind of be exclusive and like be apart from the crowd, and so this is a way of like limiting the amount of people that can be in a space
and still try to keep their head above water when it comes to profitability, because if we're at 50% capacity, they have to charge double to make up what they did before, right?
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of places going like with tasting menus that are high priced, so they get their dollar from a small amount of people.
And they're hoping that it's going to be over a more affluent diner that goes out. So they've got some beautiful wines. The wine list is spectacular here. You know, cult wines galore. But they're a little bit on the pricier side. So they want these people to eat and drink.
Maybe the rest of life is miserable, then people want to treat themselves somehow.
Right. I think so.
So we're going to start here with some of the bread that they have and some of the
And they've got some
dips.
Mediterranean dips. So you've got your typical, you've got your tzatziki, you have your hummus, and your baba ganoush. So we shall see how these more Greek-like or Mediterranean-type dips are going to be here. And so we've got a little bit of pita and some baguette.
And then the selling point of this restaurant is like their whole fish, but it's so pricey and we can't afford it. So we've gone in another direction.
Right. So if you've ever been to Estiatorios Milos in Vegas, that's where they have a beautiful wall dedicated to the fish. It's all fresh, flown in from all over the world. And you basically buy a fish and you get it, the whole fish. So there's a price per pound, and it's normally 2 to 3 pounds for the smaller fish, maybe 3 to 5 pounds for the larger fish. So the average price is maybe around 60 to 80 bucks a pound. So like I said, she and I could split one fish. It could be 120 to 180 bucks. So it's a little pricey.
$200.
And that's all we're eating for tonight.
Yeah. So
that would be fun for you guys.
So we want to try more than that.
Yeah.
So we had to go in a different direction. But do the math and figure it out.
But it is a great place for dates. This is the old Annabelle's, Champeau's, Sorrento's, depending what area you're familiar with, and when you dine here at the top of the Ilikai, or at the top of the eye. So the views are fantastic. I mean, you've got, you know, oceanscapes, you've got mountainscapes, you've got cityscapes. 3 different looks. The cityscape's not always the best because you look like you're looking at sometimes the old Ilikai rooftop, or, you know.
You can see the buildings behind us, so we got the ocean view, sorry.
Yeah, so we get to enjoy the view, but you get to just watch us eat.
Yeah, enjoy. I'm going to start with the baba ganoush because that's like one of my favorites.
I'm going to go with hummus because that's sort of the litmus test of a true Mediterranean dip, I think. Okay, Mom, let's go.
We like it.
Oh, smoky enough?
Not really smoky.
Not really smoky?
Eggplant is good.
Okay, here's the
I
hummus.
love seasoning.
Interesting, it's set up a lot more of an earthy, almost seafood-like flavor to this hummus. So a lot of times in Hawaii, you get hummus that's a lot more garlicky, or nice, it's good.
Tomato over here. Just waiting on your grilled octopus, okay? The scallop tartare here with the beautiful pristine breads, yeah?
Thank you.
So you said the grilled octopus are coming out with next stir. Okay, got it. Wow, beautiful tartare.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you. It's gorgeous.
Okay.
Presentations are quite impressive. And that baba ganoush is bright, acidic. It's got a beautiful balance of that very deep eggplant note, but enough bright acidity to kind of help you lighten your appetite. And,
It's really good.
yeah. Okay.
Pass me the pita again. I want to try the hummus.
Pass the pita.
Pass the pita, please.
I need to do a smaller baguette. And I'm going to do the tzatziki. So I don't know why I always say it like
I
that.
don't need to do the tzatziki. It's not my favorite.
Oh, tzatziki never. I mean, I feel like it needs maybe some gyros or shawarma.
Did you say earthy? It's very earthy.
Yeah. Right?
It's
It's
more,
almost like seafood. It almost has like a briny note to it. I'll describe it.
it's more chickpea than garlic.
The tzatziki is very acidic, bright, nice sour yogurty note,
Hey.
little aromatics, and a good dose of salted flavors. So it's almost like a feta cheese. Description of this.
That looks delicious.
It does. Colors bright, vibrant, and everything looks definitely fresh. And you would expect pesca to nobody wants old fish, but this looks beautiful, vibrant. Let's get into it and see what we got.
Let's start.
Okay, here, I've got
I got a set.
yeah, I've got a set.
We'll start with just so this is
Oh
scallop.
no, she's gonna try a little bit of each. It's one of those. I'm gonna try a little scallop. I'm gonna take a little haystack, whatever this is. A little mound of something with dill on it.
So tomatoes on the bottom, tomatoes with onion,
Avocado.
and scallop. So that must be really sweet
I'm gonna
with the
take my
crunchy vegetable notes.
langoustine.
Langoustine.
No, you said langoustine, not mangosteen, just so you
What
know.
is this? More hummus?
I don't know. That's why a lot of it's kind of,
What I'm not doing is more carb.
I will. Okay, I'm gonna use
I
that.
don't need the carb.
I'm gonna use a spoon and do the same thing. I'm gonna deconstruct my tartar because I want to try individual components. Well, then I guess the tomato and avocado can be one mess. But,
Yeah. It looks delicious.
excuse me. I don't know what that is. It looks like almost egg yolk puree, hard-boiled egg yolks, but I know it's not that. Maybe it's
Oh, it could be.
no, I don't
No,
know.
I don't know. It looks like hummus.
Yeah, maybe, but coloring.
It's more yellow.
Yeah, it looks like butter. It looks like butter. Okay, let's try. I
I
don't know where to
barely
start.
have room to operate because this is in my way. Sorry. Let's taste this yellow thing.
What is that yellow thing? Potato.
But the texture is exactly like hummus.
Yeah, let's try it together. Let's try the scallop by itself.
Me too.
It's interesting. There's a little stringency to it.
It's nice.
I think the tomato and the avocado accents are necessary. It kind of rounds out the flavors. A little sweetness in the
And the
scallop.
herb.
Look at the dill and the herbs that kind of.
The scallop by itself is rather plain, even if it's sweet. But the vegetables give it a lot of texture. And the olive oil gives it flavor.
The toast points add a little bit of char, but I think I'd rather have it without carb.
That's what I say.
But after tasting it, I know it.
Unnecessary.
Langoustine.
Depending on the appetizer you get, one or two dishes will be
The langoustine is a little bit dry. I wish it had that really lush, rich mouthfeel, which I love about langoustines. I think it was just kind of boiled or...
It looks a little dry.
I like the olive oil note. You do get that verdant, the kind of green, slightly bitter olive oil flavor. That nuttiness comes through, but kind of resets because you got this fresh tomato. Just kind of really cleans up the palate again.
My langoustine is pretty good. But I think that would be good with the vegetables too. It just gives it more texture.
It does. It has very lobster-like texture.
It's good. Not as sweet as lobster, but still good.
Yeah, I think I would rather have it raw, personally, because I think
Sweeter.
part of the langoustine texture has got this really rich, full body quality.
When it's cooked, you might not be able to tell the difference between this and a shrimp.
Yeah. And I think that's the beauty of what the langoustine is about. It's a different quality. Turning off this. But the olive oil is definitely good quality. You can taste it. It's just beautiful flavor.
And I would order this dish again.
Can't even eat anymore.
Out of control.
Okay, so we enjoyed the scallop and langoustine tartare, and I think we're going to move on to the lovely, colorful burrata cheese with some tomatoes.
That was dangerously close to the edge.
Yeah. Okay. You go ahead. In the meantime, I'm just going to cut up the octopus so we can kind of get right into that.
Good idea.
Okay.
Doesn't
And
even
this
have
is
to be
just-
asked anymore. It's
Let me show this octopus first because it is huge. This plate. Look at this sucker. Look at this. Look at that octopus.
That is one huge leg.
I'm just gonna pick it up just to show. I mean, this sucker is huge. So, and so far it seems quite tender. And it's lying on Nadine's favorite, potato.
Potato.
Okay. I think it's potato. But maybe not.
There's only one.
There's two.
That leg is scary. I think like if you have some kind of like phobia,
Yeah.
like an insect phobia or something, you might be scared of
You know,
that.
Melissa Chang has a phobia about those, patterns. Those kind of
Circular
circular or repetitive patterns. And this sort of has that effect. So she might be freaking out if she got this.
With all the tentacles.
Yeah. But you know what? It's extremely tender as I'm cutting this. It's just so tender to the cut.
The burrata is so creamy and satisfying, as it should be.
How's the dressing on that?
Well, I like that the preparations are pretty simple. There's
Clean.
good olive oil, arugula and tomatoes, just things that go well together. Just not crazy, but it's like proven over the centuries. And I don't like food that's overworked. And so this is just perfect. It feels fresh and light. With just the right touch of arugula.
Okay.
The bitterness like offset by the sweet creamy taste.
So now I'm going cutting into this very tender, I'm guessing slow cooked octopus. The grilled. Definitely got the char from the grill. Very clean. Very simple preparation. But it's almost sweet. It comes with a little, like this red, like a red pepper relish, with obviously minced capers in there. So you get the sweet roasted red pepper, but you get that wonderful burst of salt and brine with a little bit of the vinegar note from the capers.
But very true to the way food is done, like in Portugal and Spain. Very simple prep. Just good olive oil, salt. The ingredients just stand for themselves.
And the tomato, so sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you. The onion is so sweet, and it makes such a nice, fresh companion to this grilled octopus. You're gonna like this dish. I can't stop eating this octopus, but I need to get onto the burrata.
Luckily, it was big, so there's extra pieces.
Now the appetizers here are a little bit pricey too. They're about $25 to $35. So in most cases, that's the price of an entree in many restaurants, right? But the portions are quite big, so you could very much order just a grilled he'e and be done with it for the night. If
And
you
one
want.
entree, maybe.
Actually, if you're into salads or that's quite a bit of octopus. But
Yeah. So, if you want to try it, we are on a little bit of a budget. You could technically get away with maybe spending less than $100 if you were to order like 3 appetizer type situation.
small plates and share it. Tomatoes here in salad are sweet, juicy, plump. The burrata, of course, as you said, wonderful creamy, and it's just with a little bit of arugula, gives you that pepperiness, and it's just given enough salt to let that burrata flavor come through.
Perfect.
You know, we're not talking about over seasoning. We're not talking about adding thick flavors and you know.
The kind of food that's bad for you and makes you fat. Like this kind of food, like it's so good that you don't overeat.
I don't know. I'm overeating now. She's not talking for me. But I tell you what, it's fresh enough, and it feels like you're kind of doing your body healthy favors.
That's what I meant.
I mean, it's all part of the Mediterranean diet. So if we eat like this, I'm sure we'd live to 180 maybe or something, you know?
That's what I'm aiming for anyway.
Too long for me. And here, ordered a yuzu spritz. You know, once I hear yuzu, I just order anything.
He's
And of
such a
course,
sucker for yuzu.
it has a little bit of prosecco in it, so I might just have a few sips because I am driving tonight. But
Because usually
that's so yeah. You know, my wife's not here tonight, so she's not driving, and I didn't know I was going to drink. I mistakenly ordered this, but it's a little too easy to drink. You know, it's got beautiful prosecco notes, but you've got that underlying fragrant citrus from the yuzu. It's a no-brainer drink, but it's maybe I'll start off with that, finish half of it, finish the rest of my meal, and I'll be good to go.
I'm happy with the potato too. It's just like sauteed in like olive oil. It's easily good.
You get that relish?
What relish?
When you get the penne, this is beautiful. You gotta get this. Because you get the caper. I'm sorry, you get the capers and you get all of that. See, I'm a guy, I want bold flavors. I want the salt and then all of this extra robust notes. The olive in there.
Ooh, I love olive.
Calamatas. Right? It just picks it up a notch.
I mean, it was good on its own. Why did you hide that from me before?
I didn't hide it, she just wasn't looking for
Oh
it.
my god.
Use your eyes when you look.
I can't see, it's dark.
So while we figure out a bifocal situation for Nadine, I'm just gonna eat all the relish. But these onions are so sweet, aren't they? They're crisp. They're freshly, they're not cooked overdone with just a kind of caramelized mush. They're crunchy, but so sweet.
So we just realized that the olive oil that they put in their food is also in a bottle at our table.
Right here.
So we're gonna try some.
Soak up some of that in our little bread here. Really vegetal.
So good.
Like bitter, like watercress.
So spicy too.
Yeah.
Spicy and really bitter.
Yeah. But in a really nice way.
Yeah, so it's kind of addicted. Like
It has that kind of that spiciness, like, you know, how, not like chili spice, but more like a garlickiness. But it doesn't taste like garlic. Does that make sense? But it's more like, I feel like it's watercress, but there's something else very verdant, very green.
the first note you get is pure olive, but then after that, the bitterness starts to come in.
So it's actually a pretty good.
It's really interesting.
Actually, I kind of like. I should have kept the spoon from the tartar dish because I wanted to take a good spoonful and
It's
taste
kind
it.
of addictive.
Yeah.
We can use our knife and
But I'm
scoop
trying
some.
Is it watercress? There's something that it reminds me of, and I just can't forget it.
Goya.
Bitter melon. Maybe it is bitter melon. Ooh, it burns. Colorado lamb?
Yes, Colorado lamb.
That's a tiny. I've never seen Colorado so small before. Usually Colorado's large. New Zealand's tends to be smaller.
This lamb is very, it's not gamey.
Oh,
It's wonderful lamb. You'll definitely enjoy it.
Oh, good. Looking forward to that. Thanks. It's tiny. It's
So our uni pasta has arrived
and
along with Colorado lamb.
now these lamb chops are quite small actually. It's hard to say when you see it like this on camera. It's hard to tell, but they're really not big at all. And because you know when I think lamb chops, Colorado, they're normally pretty chunky. These are like New Zealand in size.
But that's just right for me because I am stuffed.
Partly, yeah.
And we didn't get, like, they have like steakhouse sides to go with this, but we didn't get any because we already had so much food that we ordered.
Yeah, it's just a lot of food. We actually over-ordered for the two of us. 3 apps and 2 entrees. Way too much
Because
food.
we're used to ordering for 4.
Yeah. And she actually talked about, I need to come here to try uni pasta. So this is actually probably the single most important reason why we're here tonight. I'm going to just start with the lamb in the meantime. I'm just going to take myself a double boned chop. Again, not that big. But let's see.
It's as big as your head.
No, it's not. It barely covers one eye. This is what you get in an airplane. This is the size of the steak. Well, I fly coach, so and they got the little charred grilled marks on there. Like, ooh, wow. They grilled it. Okay, so there we go. Ooh, that was all fat. It was all fat. That was a cap. But it was tasty fat.
Pasta is a little too al dente.
Uh-oh. It's undercooked. No. Okay, so the lamb, we asked for it medium. Maybe we took too long to get photos because it's actually not even medium. It's almost medium well to well done. Oh yeah, it's well done. The lamb is overcooked.
But still the uni flavor is there.
Okay. Now, I think the lamb has hints of rosemary, nice salting, the natural jus is flavorful, but all in all, there is a slightly medicinal taste to the lamb.
Really?
It's not gamey, but there is a medicinal, herbal, not herbaceous, but herbal in a medicinal way note to it.
Do you think that might be the olive oil?
I don't know, I didn't detect that quality earlier in the other dishes.
Yeah, I didn't either.
So,
It was the olive that came through, like none of the bitterness.
well, the pasta feels firm.
Yes.
You're right, in and out in an al dente kind of way, but
A little too full.
I think it's just at the cusp of being underboiled and al dente.
Yeah, so the lamb, like, there's no dressing at all. I mean, there's no sauce or anything, so it's just the pure lamb.
With the seasoning, the rub. And what's your take on it?
And I feel like it does need something.
It is dry.
It's kind of a bitter aftertaste. So I'm thinking that might be the olive oil.
Well, there's a medicinal note, and it's quite dry. It's well done actually.
Nevertheless, I love lamb, and so it still tastes good. Because that flavor is still there.
Uni pasta, it's buttery in a sense of texture. So I'm not saying there's butter in it, but the oily quality kind of anoints your lips with this oil. There's not enough uni flavor. You don't get that sweet candied uni though. Actually, I taste more garlic than anything else in this dish.
You have to get the pieces of uni.
I did. But uni is a very delicate flavor. So I think the balance of garlic to uni is crucial. Because the uni is a good quality. You can taste when you taste the uni by itself, it's beautiful. But
There's not enough of it blended into the sauce.
exactly, and there's too much garlic that really pervades the whole flavor profile of this dish.
But if you're a marginally uni fan, then it might be like your speed because it's not overly seafood briny.
No, I think the appetizers and small plates are definitely the best for cost performance. The lamb, which was $52 for those two chops. They're double boned, but they're tiny like New Zealand chops. Although they're I would not quite sure. I would have requested definitely more medium rare next time. Uni pasta is $48, and I wish there was a little bit more uni for that price, or maybe less garlic. So my opinion is, I think the small plates are a really good way to go. So you get a glass of Greek wine or Italian wine, or they have California and French too.
So basically, we liked all the trio of appetizers that came, but the entrees were a little bit disappointing.
Sadly, I'm not sure if it was a technical issue as much as it was just, I think, a flavor balance matter about properly accenting dishes or just creating the right amount of proportions of flavor on the dish. So
Or just creating the right drama too, or like the presentation. Because for $52 for those lamb chops, you can get a much better deal if you go to like the Indian restaurant, Spice Up, really.
yeah, or or Istanbul for their lamb. So I mean, it was kind of a very stark plate with two double bone chops.
Very
Not even
austere.
a very hackneyed sprig of parsley to brighten up the color. So
They really want you to spend money on those sides. Yeah.
I think sides are essential for that in this case. It actually, even with the drinks, it came out to about a little over $100 a head. So considering the lavish fresh ingredients, that was a pretty good deal. And we split the checks.
So hope that shed some light on what the experience is like, and of course you can make up your own mind whether this is the place for you, and you want to spend that kind of money.
But I think it's a fair amount to say it's about an average of $100 per person. Maybe with one drink, you can get away with that. So if you really want a nice night out, good view, and pretty good food, and nice cocktails, this fits the bill.
It's a grown-up restaurant.
It's a grown-up restaurant,
Yeah,
good
I'm a big
Mediterranean.
kid now.
She thinks.
Okay, thank you for joining us. See you
Thanks
next
again.
week. Bye.
All right, bye.